What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. So, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is a game that the developers have said is set in the Arkhamverse. Now, there is a big awkward question about this Arkhamverse that the developers and the writers are going to need to answer. It's the question about Deadshot and his ethnicity. Seemingly, it's like this character has been somewhat swapped in regard to their ethnicity, and I think the developers ought to have a good explanation as to why this is the case. Now, granted, from what I know, and those of you here in the community, y'all have got to help me. I lean on you guys for a lot of your, knowledge in terms of the, literature and the comics. I do know that Deadshot has been represented, as a black character for the most part. Black American is, basically this character's, I would say, much more prevalent representation. It was only in the Arkham games I saw a Deadshot that was not Black American, and even this article actually talks about it. Now, the article doesn't even mention, or is not even as direct as I am. Some of you think I sound like Gus Fring, but I'm West African by origin. But I looked at this and I thought this is going to be a very awkward situation. Now, I want to go ahead and ask some leading questions because I don't want to make conclusions that the developers have not concluded publicly. They may have their conclusions as to why this is a design choice, but I want to give the benefit of the doubt and say maybe we'll get the answers as the game gets closer to release. So number one, could it be that in them implementing this Deadshot, they were probably, using another representation of the character when they were doing the one for Arkham City? Could it also be that they decided that they wanted to get closer to some of the other representations of Deadshot in some of the literature, some of the animated movies, and even in the Suicide Squad movies that actually came out? Could it be they're trying to maybe align this Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game with some of the movie tropes? It could be. But I think everybody needs to come out and be upfront about this and just talk about it. You see, this, journalist who wrote this, I think they did a good job asking the questions, but they had to tiptoe around this whole conversation. I don't think tiptoeing around these conversations are helpful for us to get down to the, to the meat of the, whole subject matter. So check this out. He writes here, he says, that brings us Deadshot. By the end of Arkham Knight, we're led to believe that Deadshot Floyd Lawton had been arrested for the following the Arkham City incident. While the GCPD apparently had to let Deadshot walk at Amanda Waller's request, they did keep some of his gadgets and weapons as evidence souvenirs. There's little debate about exactly what happens next, but the general idea is that Waller had recruited Deadshot to join the Suicide Squad, which should lead naturally to the early events of Kill the Justice League. The only problem is that Deadshot we see in Kill the Justice League is certainly not the exact same Deadshot that we see in Arkham games. They are both named Floyd Lawton, and they both use the Deadshot moniker, but as you can see in comparison picture we've included at the top of this article, the Deadshot featured in the Arkham games, the one on the left, dude is really specific about pointing it out to you, and the Deadshot in Kill the Justice League, the character on the right, are obviously different people. And this was something that hit me as I was playing Arkham City. I fired up Arkham City, I was testing it out on my build, and I walked down here and I looked, I said, yo, isn't that Deadshot that I put in there, from when I was playing the game? What the heck is he doing over there? And so I zoomed in and I was like, yo, something is off. He doesn't have enough melanin. I'm like, what is going on? Did he lose his melanin, receptors or something, like his genes to be able to churn some of it out? And then it hit me. This is what many people have been pointing in the overall conversation. So how are the developers going to explain this? What is going to be the reasoning behind retconning this character and, changing the entire ethnic representation of the character? I couldn't care less at all if he's white, blue, black, or whatever. I'm just in the point where is their Suicide Squad that's supposed to be in the Arkham universe, is it going to have the continuity that's going to be natural enough for us to probably, ignore this one detail? So this is where this entire thing is kind of strange overall. And this one awkward question is, going to be hounding. Now, let me give you even my preference at the end of this video. This, Deadshot that I see in the Suicide Squad trailer, I already like. The one from the Arkham games, absolutely no remembrance of the character ever. The character did not even strike me as a character that I could even remember, or a character that I was probably going to enjoy anyways if I was having to deal with. So I think this personality that they're bringing here to me resonates more of a Deadshot than the one in Arkham City. but at least they owe it to their fans to be able to come up with why in the world they're moving that direction. Or maybe they don't need to owe it to us. Maybe if the writing is so well done, we'll probably just laugh at it at the end of the day. So let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Feel free to, speak your mind. I'm open to conversation, and I'd love to hear what it is that you think is going on here. But by the end of the day, you also want to make sure that you don't go draw conclusions that the developers have not necessarily drawn. Talk to me in the comment section, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon.